What's up? What's up? What's up? You already know what it is. I'm just gonna sit, relax for a minute, you know, let Instagram do what it do. But yeah, we going live today. I got a special guest today. So we gonna be sharing a lot of information, a lot of key information. I'm looking forward to it. I see everybody jumping on. Appreciate you. I'm not getting started just yet. You know, my live starts Pacific time at 11. But we got a special guest that's coming in, tuning in pretty soon. But I'm just letting Instagram do what it do. So, you know, please share the information. Let people know that I'm going live again. If you've been enjoying these lives, don't hold it to yourself. Please tell people to tune in. If you know somebody that's in the industry and they want to be a part of the hair industry, they want to be part of the makeup industry, they want to do people's facials, they want to put the makeup on so they can go out on these red carpets or these events or just, just showing out at a party. Let them know that the guests that I'll be bringing on be sharing all this information. And if they want to join this industry, I'm giving key information on how to do it. So don't be selfish. Share the information. Let people know. Shoot it in their Instagram. Shoot it in their DM. Call them up right now. Say, hey, your boy, Garci, the barber, he's going live. He's sharing some information. He got another special guest that's going to be telling you how to grow, how to be lucrative, how to be more precise on what you want to do and how you want to make it in this industry. That's what my platform is about. Just giving out information. I love giving out information, So, like I said, I'm going to let Instagram do what it do. Send out the information. Let people know. I know it's a Monday. I know people might be at work. People might be chilling. It's still early, but, I'm an early bird. I like to get out there. I like to get it going. So this is why I jump on. But I know throughout the day, how I do. I chop up the best information of my content and push it out there. I put it on my YouTube channel, Talk Your Barber Shit. The channel, Talk Your Barber Shit on YouTube, where you can go on there and watch all the interviews that I have. And I also want to say thank you to everybody that's been showing love to my content, also to my products. I'm letting them know. When you walk out in the streets, you gotta let them know. Like, hey, they be like, "Who? Oh, are you a barber?" Yep, I'm a barber. Come holler at me. I got them all in different colors. Summertime's coming. You might want to wear your trucker hat. I also got the new styles that a lot of people have been rocking. They love these. I got them in colors. If you want a certain color, just hit me up. Hit me in my DMs. I got you. Check out my Etsy. I got shirts on there. I got hats on there. I'm doing my thing. I'm trying to do my thing. But, it's almost about that time to bring my special guest in. I just want to say we got a pioneer today that's been killing the game. He said for a long time. So he has a lot to share, a lot of information that he's ready to get on here and speak about. He's been an educator for Andis. I know a lot of people love Andis Clippers. They've been walking around rocking the Andis Clippers for years, the products, So, he's been an educator for there. He's also changing the metrics of the game. Like, if you want to really, really get your skills up, besides being a clipper man, you want to be a shears man. You want to learn how to understand the shape, the dialogue, the flow, the vertical, the diangular, everything about this industry. About cutting hair. You want to get it right. You want to sit down with your clientele and when he asks you for something, that you can give it to him the correct way. That when he look in that mirror, when you hand him that mirror, he's not looking like, God damn, I messed up. I went to the wrong barber. I gave him some information. I thought he understood what I was saying, but no. So he's giving information on how to really be precise in this industry, how to really be lucrative and understanding your clientele and understanding the information. He's breaking down the verbiage of these books that we purchasing through school, but we still ain't understanding the knowledge. He has has a website, he has a platform, he has something that he's giving to you to help you grow, to help you continue to grow. I mean, I I know I'll keep talking, but it's time for me to stop talking and bring the amazing ClockPoint hair Jay into the building so he can do his duck thizzle, and let's get to it. So Jay, if you're ready, I'm ready. I'm about to send you that invite so you can jump on this live and we can get it cracking. You ready? You ready, my brother? Because I'm ready. Let's go. All right, there he go. There's
What's
the
happening?
man, the myth, the legend. He's in the building. How you doing, sir?
I'm super good. What's going down? You was killing
Hey,
the game just now with them hats, though, man. You was trying to get your little sale on. That's funny. Yeah, yeah,
hey, baby.
that's what we do.
Do what you do, but I've been rocking my hats. I was rocking them for myself, and then people started asking me where they could purchase it. So hey, you gotta be lucrative. You gotta do what the people want. So yeah.
Absolutely. See, one thing I heard you saying in like your intro and like how you were talking, and it behooves me because I like really think about the listener, right? And I think about the person who says to themselves, I think about them quite often. The person who says, "Yo, why am I going to listen to this dude's
Right.
live? Like, for what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he just talking shit, and barber shit, right?" So it's like, talk your shit. At the end of the day, it's like, I always think about that person because that person is usually in a circumstance.
Okay.
And when they opt not to listen or not to watch, it's because they feel as if their circumstance is more detrimental to the knowledge that will get them out of their circumstance
Oh wow.
because they
Okay.
didn't
I like.
even know that you had that type of reach or connection to
Yeah.
help them out of the dilemma that they're in.
You're right.
See, and it's funny because we use keywords like lucrative, we use words like you know industry, and we use these keywords that are supposed to light people up.
Mhm.
And it's like, to me, I feel like it does the opposite. I feel like when we start talking about how you can become lucrative, to me, that's a conversation that needs to have two sides, maybe three.
Okay.
Your side, my side, and then the truth. Because
Okay.
see, people ain't trying to hear me talk about how lucrative I can become or I can help them
Mhm.
become. What they want to know is a clock point. You let me tell you something, bro. I got a question. I have two barbers in my shop right now, and I'm the owner. I'm struggling to pay my bills, bro. What can I do right now that's going to change the game for me? See, that's the kind of information that, and I don't even want to say information because that's leaving it very, very surface. I want to get very deep into this whole conversation and everything that's going on because my job is to change the perspective of people. It's not about listening to what I have to say. It's about understanding what I have to say. I don't want you to listen. I want you to understand.
Mhm.
Once you understand, you can overstand. Then you can actually see the matrix. You see, because like as you know, I asked you to look over the site, and the site for everybody that's here, it's learnclockpoint.com. But the element of learnclockpoint.com is not about haircutting. It's about really understanding that first and foremost, I'm transparent
Mhm.
because my site is not completed. But since I designed my site myself, and I believe in learning, and I believe in taking learning curves and making them shorter, I believe in all that. So I believe that you guys can go there, make an account, and you're going to be blessed behind that. I'm not going to tell you what's going to happen, but you're going to be blessed behind that because the connection in that itself is going to provide you with those answers that say, oh man, I need to message ClockPoint, but I don't want to go on his DM.
Mhm.
I want to message ClockPoint on the website because there's a community structure on the website. So now if you were on the website as an actual account, a member of the site, and you said to me, ClockPoint, I need 15 minutes. I need a half hour time. You could either book that time, or you could click the button and just schedule an actual free consultation. And that's for everybody. You know, all first timers get a free consultation to whatever situational circumstance that you have. And as I said before, not to go away from the topic detail, I just had to give a little background, but the element of it is that if that person is in trouble with their shop, they're not trying to be on this. They're not trying to listen to this. You know, to them it's like, yo, it's money. I need that money. You know, and I've been there, done that. You know what I mean? When you get to that situation, when you get to that place, you got to realize that there's things that you can do right now. Because I remember in my life, I went to my business mentor one time and I said, hey man, I need $1,800. He looked at me and he said, Jay, man, I don't have $1,800 for you. I said, man, you lying, man. You're like a millionaire, man. Who am I to count his pockets? See,
Mm.
who am I to think because it's a minimal amount in my eyes to him that it's not minimal to him. See, so I realized at that point, like, he was like, I can give you information, Jay, that is going to be more valuable than 1,800. I said, nah, man, I don't need that shit. I need that money, bro. Like, like, forget all that other stuff. I need the money, right? Element of it was that,
I definitely agree with what you're saying. Like, and the approach, the way you started off, yeah, like we can come with these key component words and say, hey, if you watch this, this is the type of information you're gonna gather. If you sit
right,
down, you my special guest, he gonna tell you how to be a better barber. He gonna tell you how to be a better service
sure,
person. He gonna tell you how to do this and that and that. But like you said, it depends on the person that's watching and what they're
sure,
dealing with at that
that's right.
particular moment. Yeah, for me, like when I first started off in the barber industry, I wanted to be the best barber I could, but I needed to make money. So, like, how do I generate me being a good, great barber, but also know that before I leave the shop or while I'm in the shop, that I'm putting someone in my seat so I can go home knowing that I made profit for that day. And a lot of people that you hear, you sit on content, they say you got to be in the shop from morning all the way to maybe midnight to hopefully
Hmm.
get one barber in your chair.
Right.
Or, like you just said, being an owner. How do you continue to shift the people that's in your shop? How do you lead them? How do you help them grow? How do
See,
you?
that right there is the secret sauce. But the secret sauce does not come from a selfish standpoint.
Yeah,
First and foremost, as a leader, as a shop owner, you have to understand you taking on people's responsibilities with you. So with that being said, the one thing that I realized was that I opened up this really, really big shop. And it was the biggest shop at the time in the town, and it was crazy. It was really, really beautiful. And I refused to rent my chairs. I refused. So when I went to go talk to people, because I knew everybody knew me. So it was like, oh my God, Jay, how much you renting them chairs for? I heard your shop is dope. Ah, da, 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 da. I said, I'm not renting my chairs. Oh, well, I can't work for you. Then you can't come. It's that simple. See, because you have to understand it's not about the money that you're going to make that's going to leave my business door. It's about understanding that I have to take an unselfish posture first as a leader and a shop owner that says, I'm going to break you off a commission, but I'm also going to break off the fact that I'm bringing you the clients. I know you have a clientele, but I'm still going to bring you more clients. See, so taking on I almost want to say the educational understanding that, okay, let's put it in place. How can we get more people in the shop so that everybody eats no matter what? I said, oh, I'm going to bring the group homes. Now, see, that's some sauce for y'all. Anybody right now that's listening or that knows somebody that's struggling in the barbershop, if you go to your local juvenile center or you go to your group home, they got to get haircuts too. And they get paid by the state to do that. So at the end of the day, I was having group homes, like 11 to 12 of them, coming to the shop on a specific day, a specific time. And all my barbers would eat no matter what. And they'd be like, damn, Jay, this is dope, man. I ain't even think of that. Da, da. I used to cut them myself. But I said, nah, y'all come to the shop because you have to understand the mindset of business is that you can't cut everybody. See, and that's what got me to where I am today with my perspective and understanding that the leadership comes from how do I keep my barbers and my stylists in the building? I take care of them better than anybody else would even imagine to. I give them the education that they need to be on their own. Because every stylist and every barber that I've messed with that worked for me has the knowledge and capability to have their own business and prosper. And some of them still call me to this day and say, yo, Jay, how do I do X, Y, Z? And I say ZYX. It's that simple. You know, you reach out, the connection is there, it's a lifetime thing, and we're all about sharing information. It's all about if I made if I made something for you, like you have these hats, right? And it hit me like, okay, how come them hats ain't in the background right now? You see, so my thing to you will be, hey man, get you a little hat rack in the back, man. Put them on there so that you're constantly advertising and people can constantly see them if that's something that you're trying to sell, right? Because everything that's not in sight is forgotten, correct? So my gift to you would be like, hey man, you know, you're talking about a product that you have that you remember to talk about, but then you put it away as if to say this conversation is more important than the profits that you earn to make. Nice plug. You see what I'm saying? So you know, again, this is where you know we got to come back and understand that a lot of the people that are dealing with dilemmas is only because and now I'm gonna shift. Now I'm gonna shift. It goes all the way back to the schools, brother. It goes all the way back to the schools. And the reason why it goes back to the schools is because we have a false narrative. Okay. What we got to stop doing in this industry, first of all, we complain too much.
Yeah.
Oh, we complain too much. We think we are the shit. That's why we want to talk shit. But the bottom line is that the truth of the matter is that if we looked at it from an outside perspective looking in, yo, we bugging. We have a multi-billion-dollar industry that we have no hands in. None. Zero. And it's like, how do we get our hands in? First of all, you got to understand the truth of the matter of where you are and who you are first. You can't keep on making up your own words and calling it something. Because what that says to your industry is that there is no foundational verbiage that the actual industry has for education. That in itself right there is bad. How do I say that? We make up another haircut name. We call fades everything under the sun. There's no structure behind what the linguistics behind the words that we even use are. Half of the words that people are using, they don't know the definitions of. And I'm not knocking people. What I'm doing is I'm trying to tell you that you need to understand you are important. You're right. You should be upset, but there's a way to get yourself together. And the way you get yourself together is to structure yourself foundationally first. Foundationally, check your feet, check where you're standing, bro. Because your next step could be your worst step, and it needs to be your best step.
I like that. Yeah.
Back to the schools.
Yeah.
We go to school, pay our money, get out, and then find out that what we learned in school wasn't what people are asking for in the shops.
Yeah.
Now, as I grew up in the industry, I did what was called an apprenticeship.
Okay.
So that means I didn't have to go to school. That means that I could work underneath the master barber and he would supervise my work. Now, I wasn't supposed to make money at the time, but of course I made money. And, you know, then I went and took my state board, passed, and I got my license. Then I said to myself, I want to be the best. Then I took on this real selfish, and this is my words. This is not words for anybody else. This is my words about my own perspective. I got a very selfish perspective that said, I want to be the best in the world. Even as I was on stage cutting hair at an Atlanta show, I think it was, and a dude said to me, yo, man, I cut hair better than you. I said, you couldn't cut hair better than me on your best day, on my worst day.
Yeah.
Oh man, you the youngest barber who's judging a contest, and man, you know I should have won, and blah blah blah. And I broke it down. I said, brother, the only reason you lost is because you did a barbershop haircut in a show atmosphere. Your costume was beautiful, perfect. And a lot of people of my age will know this because they remembered it. It was a barber contest, and the dude did Fat Albert. It was so dope. Fat dude, red sweater,
Yeah.
afro, dope. But I couldn't give him the win because the cut was like a barbershop cut. And I said, brother, do you understand that all you had to do was change, put a little taste of your own spin on that cut? You'd have won hands down. He said, man, I'm sorry, man. I was getting mad at you, man. I wanted to fight you, man. I said, I understand all that. But there's a thing about understanding that brings a calmness to you because now you've just elevated.
Yeah.
Then when he saw me go on stage, and then I started to cut straight hair, he lost his mind. He's like, yo, wait up, bro. I ain't know you was like that. Because I said to the people in the show, I said, my idea of a haircutting contest is 10 cheers, 10 people you never saw before in your life, and a manila envelope at each station. And in the drawer, what you couldn't see, was tools that you had to use to do the haircut from the picture inside.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm getting down all 10 of them, straight up. Hands down, I'm getting down all 10. Barbers in this industry, my brother, they're not going to make it past 3.
Yeah.
They're not going to make it past 3, unfortunately. And that's not due to the fact that they don't have the skill set. It's due to the fact that they don't have the understanding. See, the understanding brings you to a whole nother place. Now, when we're talking about barbers graduating from school, stylists graduating from school, brother, do you know that I was so upset and so angry behind that I went on a, like, I want to call it a cosmetology and barber school tour where I was free presentation. I just want to cut in there and I just got to see what's going on everywhere I can. And it was the same exact thing. That's when I said, nah, this got to stop, bro. This got to stop. And that was a long time ago. And I say that was a long time ago because
It's still the same.
it's still the same, but
Yeah.
how dare I say it was a long time ago without a plan to do something about it? See, there's the accountability of self again. Because see, I've elevated from selfish, okay, to self-accountability. So now it's like, okay, I wrote a book. I'm introducing new terminologies to a template that people can understand, right? Because that's what ClockPoint is, first and foremost. ClockPoint is just changing the language of instruction and haircutting. Because if I told you right now, like, where is 90 degrees? Do that with your hand. Well, 90 straight across.
Okay.
90 straight across. Where's 45?
So 0, 45, 90.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it looks like you're like
Oh,
this.
no,
I'm sorry. See, I'm an angle guy. You see what I'm saying? I'm all about the
Yeah.
angles, brother. I'm reading them angles, you know what I mean? But now, once I tell
And
you
I know
that
180 is like this.
correct, right.
Yeah.
Now watch this. Is 180 at the top or the bottom?
Huh?
Is 180 at the top or the bottom?
It can go both ways.
It can go both ways?
Yeah.
That's true. That's false. See, that's the problem. You just
Because if you go straight down,
you just identified the problem.
okay.
You said it can go both ways. That means that there's room for confusion.
Okay.
Did you know that 90 degrees get shifted? Do you know that they actually shift the actual degrees template to fit narrative?
We were talking about 180, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But see, that 180 is at the bottom. So if this was the middle, okay, and this was 90, okay, that would make this 45, right? That would make this 0.
Okay.
30, 45, 60, 75, 90.
Okay.
See that? That's how it goes. And this one is 180.
Okay.
But when you do your actual haircutting, they teach you all day long. Vidal Sassoon, Paul Mitchell, all of them, Pivot Point, Milady, everybody teaches the wrong information. Because mathematically, it says, mathematically now, not Jay Caldwell, not ClockPoint, mathematically,
Yeah.
it says, what is 1 times 30? What is that?
I'm not good on my head. I got to look at the calculator.
I ain't worried about it. It's 30, right? 1 times 3 is 3, plus the 0 is 30. So that would mean that the 1, the numeric position of the 1 equals 30 degrees.
Okay.
2 times 3 is 6. Add the 0. The position of the 2 is 60. 3 is 90, because it's 3 times 3 is 9 is 90.
Correct.
Watch this. What is 3 times 9? 27. So that would mean that the opposite of 90 would be 270 degrees. The 8 would be 240 degrees. 10 would be 300 degrees. 11 would be 330 degrees. The 0 would be 360 or 0. So why is it that they keep on writing a 0 cut to the floor when that is incorrect? Because 6 times 3 equals 18, correct? Add the 0, it's 180. See, I said that in front of an entire, I believe that was the Empire School educational corporate team. They call themselves the corporate educational team, something like that. I don't know how they worded it. And they said, wow, you have a strong point right there. I said, no, it's not a strong point. It's a factual point. See, a strong point can still be broken down. A factual point, you can't do nothing with it. You say, whoa, okay. And I'm stating that to say that if we started looking at what we're trying to teach, a lot of people are going to be real mad at me, but they ain't teaching a damn thing. You're teaching your method. You're teaching your ways. And your ways are from what we call trial and error. We all grew up on it. It's fine. I get it. I did it too. But then I got to a place where I said, how can I duplicate everyone else's work just by looking at a picture? I would have to create a framework. I would have to create terminology that works. I would have to make sure that all of it makes sense so that everybody who's trying to learn it and use it have no problem doing so. Right now, as I sit before you, I have the most diverse haircutting curriculum in the world. And it is not defined by or limited to linguistics. So it's transferable to every single language in the world, because the actual clock, which is geometrically sound now, every single number lines up to every single number. And within that scope is a geometric matrix that you have no idea about. Everything that you thought you understood, that you thought you learned in cosmetology school about haircutting angles and 45s and holding it 130 and all this and bruh, convoluted. Okay. Now I say that because even as I went in front of the National Barbering Board Association of America, I wanted to sit in front of and present to the academia of the industry. See, Milady spoke to them, Pivot Point. Oh, everybody loves it. Everybody loves it. But everybody wants to be quiet about it because it messes with their narrative. So now it doesn't mess with their narrative because it's an advanced haircutting curriculum now. See, before they thought it was coming for their necks. I'm not coming for no one's neck. See, that's the thing about business that we have to start understanding. It's not about coming from a lady or coming for a pivot point. But I also have to understand, who am I? I also have to understand, what am I doing here? Am I an influencer? Do I want to be on Instagram? Do I want to be on TikTok? Do I want to be on Facebook? No, they ain't. So why should I be? The only way that I could possibly compete with these people is to be on their level. I'm killing them with the education. They can't touch my education. So now it's a situation where they can just come and partner with me now. Now they can partner with me.
Right.
You know? Yeah. Because I don't have a problem with that now. Now I'm feeling really good in my skin. See? Because now it's like, how do I teach a barber how to make more money? The same week. In the same week. I'll tell him straight up and down, you have to cross-reference your target market. Do you understand exactly what it was when you said that you were going to go to cosmetology school and not barbering school? Barbering school and cosmetology school are defined by the gender in which you prefer to work with. Think about that for 1 second. If I go to cosmetology school, that means I'm going to be working with women. I go to barbering school, that means I preferably want to cut men. How come you can't do both?
Correct.
How come? The
I mean,
hair
you can.
the haircutting
Yeah.
curriculum doesn't even teach you the one, so how's it going to teach you both?
Yeah.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm. It's
They
two
say in
different.
barbering school they cover hair cutting,
Yeah.
like clipper cutting and all that, right? And they
Yeah.
say in cosmetology school they don't do enough of it, but they do show you how to cut with scissors.
Correct.
You're getting 30%, and out of the 30% you're getting from cosmetology school in terms of instruction, you're only going to retain maybe 10%. And I'm not even going to get into perspective. I'm going to just tell you what it is. I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. I have counseled and consulted with a whole bunch of bigwigs that y'all understand as bigwigs. Those are still like my peoples. You understand? Because remember, when I was lead educator for Andis, it was a different day. So everybody that's up now was down then. You
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
and I was up.
Yeah.
You see,
Yeah.
but the end of the game is that when you look at what you believe you want to do, how you want to do it, you have to make a decision. And that decision has to be for the masses. It can't be for self. It just can't. You're only going to go but so far, and then you're going to run out of gas. And worse than that, now you're going to run out of battery. You're going to run out of battery. And I say you're going to keep a charger, but nowhere to plug it in. And you're going to run out of power. You're going to run out of power. You cannot have a selfish standpoint in anything that you believe you're going to do that's going to be generational. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
When
You
did
know.
this turn happen for you? When did you clock
Uh,
point in where you realized that, hey, I definitely need to change my mindset and start pursuing this area a little bit more for myself?
well, there was the first smack in the face when I did a training for hair club for men and women, right? And this was way back in the day before we was even thinking of doing what they call units, right? I'm sorry, they call them man weaves and all that kind of stuff, right? See, this is what I talk about with this linguistics, right? They're actually called units.
Mm-hmm.
They're hair units, right? That's the proper term. So when I was doing that, nobody was doing that. You see, nobody was doing that. I was teaching the number one company in the US how to fade and blend in existing hair to the actual unit or system hair. It was a systems unit. And when I finished that, and the vice president, Carlos, DeCarlo, Frank DeCarlo, he goes to me, yo, man, you fantastic, bro. We want to bring you on. We want to keep doing this, da da da. I said, all right, bet. That's what's up. Yeah, 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 yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Now I'm just thinking, okay, bet. Now my price is going to go up. I got this going. I got that going. Boom, boom, boom. How did I do that? I went into an actual um, hair club for men and women location. I believe it was in White Plains. And one of my clients had got a system. He was like, yo, Jay, I need you to fix this, man. He had a hat on. And I came to my shop and I'm like, oh, man, you done did it. I can't mess with you. Took him in the back room, the private room, cleaned it up. He
Yeah.
went back to the thing and they said, yo, whoa, who did that?
Yeah.
So then we set up the meeting, went to White Plains. Then for White Plains, I went to Albany because the owner owned both of them. And then from there, I went to corporate. So it's all about understanding the path. It's all about understanding. And when it smacked me in the face that I needed to really understand the educational aspect, it was because I realized nobody had it. Nobody had it. They still don't have it. I'm talking 35, more than 35 years ago, and no one has still changed the landscape and improve the accuracy of the verbiage and instruction for haircutting. Think about that. Yet, nobody has done it. Nobody. I don't care who you name. I don't care who you name. My question to them would be this. You're an educator? Yeah, I'm an educator. I cut hair. I'm an educator. Mm-hmm. What do you teach? I said, what do you teach? I teach hair cutting. Okay. How? Like, what learning language do you use? What? What learning language do you use, my guy? I, I don't know what you're talking about, but I teach hair cutting, B. I'm nice. I get that, my brother. I'm not saying you're not a great educator. What I am asking you is take a deeper, closer look into what you're doing, because you may have something that is absolutely great and you don't even know it. See, people would think that I would just knock them down. No, that's not my game. My game is to build them up. Everybody, all of them, everyone. But one thing that I found out about getting smacked in the face with truth is that if you let truth smack you in the face, it'll give you a big hug too. And it'll protect you from lies. See, so when I go now in front of anybody and they say, yo, why you keep trying to use big words on people? I say, big words? What big words am I talking about? Yeah. Learning language? Learning language, that means the verbiage you use to actually teach that someone can actually learn, which means that they have to have understanding from a basic standpoint and then be able to then practically put it to use.
Let me, I don't want to cut you off right there, but I want to actually target something right now with where the direction you're going in. So say, for example, you have a lot of, these institutes, these schools that don't
Here we go. Go
don't
ahead.
focus on the education part. As far as the education part, it's just all about, the basic sanitation,
Sure.
making sure, what you're doing as far as just the basic layer of hair cutting.
Okay.
And depending on what school you go to, like the school that I went to dominantly was straight hair. So I was able to cut a lot of straight hair that was like walk-ins. Mm-hmm. But when I got out of school, I had to transition back to cutting actual coarse hair. And it was a little bit harder for me because I was so focused on cutting straight hair and learning scissors.
And we'll just say hair with and without elasticity.
Correct. So
textured hair to non-textured, right?
Hair.
Okay.
Correct. So most of the I guess the educational part that was being delivered was you watching videos. You watching videos that you see someone cut, you seeing them put the different guards on, seeing them like where they start from the beginning to the end. And
can I stop you?
Yeah, you can.
Can I stop you?
Correct.
That's the problem.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Every school has a goal, and I had to find that out when I did my tour. Mm-hmm. Their goal is not to make you a great barber or a great hair cutting stylist. Mm-hmm. Their goal is to have you pass the test so that you can become licensed to practice. That is the number one goal. There is nothing hands down that they do anything else for. Period. Now, I stand with the schools on that merit. Okay. Because I was very much against them and wanted to fight them behind the fact that they were letting people come out of their schools after paying $25,000 and still not having any idea of how to truly, navigate themselves around techniques.
Correct.
The thing that I found out was I'm not upset with schools anymore. See, because I understand their premise. Mm-hmm. But what I did find out is that it only strengthened my movement. Because now if I say I have an educational curriculum, I should be able to help these schools.
Correct.
You said it was predominantly straight hair, non-textured. Mm-hmm. Then when you came out, you had to transition back. Well, when you're doing these transitions, you know what you're doing, right? You're going into one house and leaving another, right? Correct. Nothing lives underneath the same roof.
Correct.
ClockPoint lives under the same roof. Everything. Yeah. No technique has a diversity restraint. So when we talk about how these schools and you yourself went through this learning curve, you're not done, brother.
Oh
You're
yeah.
far from done.
Yeah.
But watch this. People may try to stone me, but understand something. I've been hit with rocks and boulders before. I've been hit with trucks before, and I still stand. So throw what you may, right? I can take that. I expect that. But then what I also expect is for you to change once you see that your rock has not affected me. So I say that to say this. You went to the school, you learned how to cut hair, then you turned around, came out, and you had to transition to ethnic hair, textured hair. Then you had to find out that there was a whole difference. I can stand here or sit here and say, I can go into a school. I've done it already. Uh, long layers. You know how to do long layers, right? Mm-hmm. How do you do long layers? I'm sorry to put you on
Oh
the
no,
spot.
no. We good. I mean, this is what my education is about. So
Okay.
long layers is just cupping down the hair, cupping it with the comb, and tilting it a little bit, and then cutting the tips.
I love it. I love it. So you said tilting it a little bit. All I was doing was listening to the verbiage, right? Because as a learner, I'm a learner. I'm a professional learner.
But like I
Okay.
told you, I'm just now getting into the cosmos. Yeah,
I
yeah,
got you, brother.
yeah,
That's why I thank you for just answering, because a lot of people would think that I'm trying to make fun of them. I'm not. What
yeah.
I'm doing is I'm showing you that a professional learner listens to the words you
Mm-hmm.
use. So when an educator is up there or he makes a post or he does this or does that and he starts talking, I'm listening
Mm-hmm.
because I'm trying to learn.
Correct.
They lose me as soon as they say, well, you got to tilt it a little bit, or you got to put it right here or right there. If an educator says this or that, here or there, there's a problem.
Okay.
That's a problem. Not detailed enough, brother. That's not the information that we need to
Okay.
share. See, we're not taking the time to value what we're teaching. We're just showing
So,
people what we
so
do.
tell me the correct information or the detail of how that layer should have been expressed.
Okay.
You
Now,
got
real
it.
quick,
Yeah.
real quick. So if indeed, right, like if indeed, I was just talking about like a layer, right? I can identify any haircutting technique with ClockPoint.
Mm,
Okay, any haircutting technique. It doesn't matter. I can learn, and I have learned how to cut hair from Russian videos,
okay.
German videos, French videos without even understanding what they're saying, because I only identify and I use the matrix of ClockPoint to identify everything that's being done. So the first thing that I would have said was location.
Okay.
So I would have taken the hair from the back of the crown, on top of the occipital, in the middle of the head.
Correct.
Very, very,
Yeah.
very distinctive, right? Then I would have said that I would have combed through the hair, brought it straight up to a 12 o'clock
Yeah.
posture. Then I would have tilted it to 1 o'clock,
Okay.
right? Then I would have combed it through to 1 o'clock, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So now that I'm combing it through to 1 o'clock, it's kind of like if I'm combing the hair, then I would hold it this way.
Right. Yeah.
Now, my finger or hold position would then be identified.
Yeah. Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Because now that my finger hold position is identified, I've knocked out two of the three most important elements of haircutting technique around the world. Period. Two of the three. What's the third one? The blade angle. That's it. Nothing else. Now, I can get into more advanced understandings of that, of course. But from a layman standpoint, you can walk into, and this is what I was going to say, people are going to throw stones. I walked into a school and I trained a girl during lunchtime, which was about 10 to 12 minutes, and she did long layers for the first time. They went and got the owner of the school because she learned how to do it that fast and that good. They could not believe it.
Mhm.
And she couldn't do long layers. She just asked me, Do you think you could show me how to do long layers? I said long layers. I show you how to do every kind of layer you ever thought you ever wanted by teaching you just that. It is one universal language that is applied to every single technique that is used, period. And people lose their minds when they see it, brother. They lose their minds. Because, see, we want to complicate things. I said before, we play with the linguistics. We want to sound so smart, I think. I think we want to sound smart, bro. I think we just want to sound like we're more than what we are when we just need to express ourselves on a very basic level.
Correct.
And say, hey, this is how you do this. So what you would do is, and I will tell you this, you take the actual hair and your hair extension angle is going to be 1. Your hold angle is going to be 5, okay? Because that's from knuckle to fingertip, okay? And then I want to go with some how do I want to say, textured inverted layers. How do I do that? I bring my entry to 7 on my scissor cutting blade, and I go from the bottom to the top. That would invert my texturized layers. Now hold on a second, Jay. You just talked all that shit about all
And
these words.
and it starts shifting, right?
Yes, yes. How come you see that?
How come? The way you explained it, yeah. It was the verbiage. The verbiage was way better.
It's too clear not to see it, brother. It's too clear not to see it.
Yeah.
If I then told you, when we extend it here to 1 o'clock, we hold it. Then we take our hands, our fingers, we hold it to 5. Somebody says, no, I don't want my layers to be that drastic. I want them to be a little thicker. So we go from 5, because this is 6, 5 to 4. So now we're holding it to 4. So now hold on a second. Am I still coming in at 7? No. Because, watch this. How much is 7 and 5?
Times or just plus?
Just adding.
12.
12. Mm-hmm. How many numbers are in the ClockPoint template?
12.
Okay. How many numbers are in the degrees template?
I think 12.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. 360.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because, see, now if we're defining the actual template, we understand what we're talking about now. Because the template is what you use to identify the learning language instructions. Because if they tell you to extend the hair to 90 degrees or cut a 90-degree cut, it's not even a 90-degree cut. That's not what it is.
You teach me more than I ever learned when I was because I had to do my crossover, so 200 hours wasn't enough time to really
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And my point was that I teach instructors, teach haircutting professionals, students, and it's the matrix. It really is, brother. Like, I don't have that on the website just because. I have it on the website because it makes sense, and that's learnclockpoint.com. It's so incredible. You can't see degrees anymore after you see ClockPoint. You can't see it anymore.
Yeah.
If they talking all crazy to you, it goes out the head. You don't hear nothing. All you do is you're just watching. You're just watching because you don't need them no more. Oh, I see what you're doing. I can duplicate that. Do you know what that means to haircutting, brother? Do you really know what that means? That means that you just said you learned more now in a conversation on a topic that was less than 10 minutes that you learned in 200 hours of school.
Yeah.
See, brother, the element of the whole schooling aspect is that I realized that they didn't have the education that they said they did. I realized that there was a niche that never, ever, 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 ever was changed since its delivery. I learned that from Elon Musk. Elon Musk said, if you want to do something big, you want to do something good, find a global problem and solve it. I said, shit, is haircutting a global problem?
Right.
Yeah. And then I said to myself, it's not a global problem. There's people that can cut hair everywhere. But then one day I was watching National Geographic because I'm a fiend for that.
Yeah.
And I saw this guy cutting hair with piranha teeth and a comb, doing a fade.
Yeah.
Blew I said, oh my God, I got to do this. Because it doesn't matter what you do if you know what's going on with your template. The sundial, first learning language of the world, brother. Did you know that? That's the first learning language of the world. Math is the first learning language of the world, bro. And I was going to tell you that the only reason why 5 and 7 make sense is because they equal 12. That means that the 5 and the 7 angle are the same. That's where you get the geometric symmetry from. That's where you break people down and you smack them in the face and you say, that's wrong. This is absolute. See, they can't mess with a template that has number arrangements that are so foundationally sound. Can't do it.
Yeah.
So you can't do 4 on a hold angle and 7 on a cut angle. You can. You can do that and identify it and be able to duplicate it and replicate it no matter what you want. But if you want to do it to an absolute symmetry aspect, 8 plus 4 equals what?
12.
Brother, as long as the numbers equal 12, the angles are perfectly matched from side to side symmetry. No other educational boundary or educational platform or educational instruction teaches that, can guarantee that. They don't even guarantee a left-handed cutter and a right-handed cutter's instruction because they never ever went over a left-handed cutter's instruction in your school. How do I know that? Because I tell that so many schools and they don't do it either.
It's
That's crazy,
funny.
bro.
I've seen that on your page, and I was like, man, I used to have issues because I'm a lefty, and a lot of people that
Oh,
teach in the court were, right-handed. So they used to have
yes,
issues trying to show me how to cut hair from a left-handed.
brother, brother. And it's so simple. See, this is what I mean about, like, I knew that it was, first of all, I'm not that smart. So I know for a fact that was the most divine thing that I've ever gotten from any source of a higher power was ClockPoint. Because I am not that smart to figure out to use the clock and the actual numeric alignment of the clock to create an entire, and I mean an entire curriculum from clippers to scissors,
Yeah,
diversity out of this world, no restrictions.
yeah.
I'm not that smart, bro. That's divine. But when you talk about that and you say to yourself, how did I do that?
When
I couldn't.
DL about you and then told me the name, he was like, check out Clockwork. And I was like, I like that name. Because I already kind of, in my mind, visioned what that was like leading toward when he said Clock Point. I was like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I get it.
Right.
Yeah.
No, she, and I mean my mother. She was such an amazing influence, man. I mean, I tried to change that name about 1,000 times, man, and she was like, "Babe, why are you messing with what works?"
Yeah, yeah. I had
You
to
know,
say
and I was like, "Man,
conversation with my mom with this name because I was thinking, I was like, I don't know if it's gonna cross over. People gonna really want to, talk on a platform where it's the word display, the verbiage, saying talk your barber shit. Like, is that really gonna make people want? And she was like, I like it. Stick with it. Stick with it.
well,
Yeah,
exactly." See, to me, it's like you can talk your barber shit if you want to, or
yeah,
you can or you can take advantage of the opportunity and help your people understand some shit.
yeah.
You see
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's gonna be shit either which way we do it, right? Because like I said before, we play with words, bro. Semantics is something that barbers have done for so long, and it's so bad because when a barber is not a good barber, he's a good shit talker. See? And he sells the fucking haircut to
Yeah,
the person. Okay? Like I've heard um Ivan, I'm a name caller. I don't give a fuck. I mean, not from that standpoint, but I'm just a real dude. So I heard Ivan say one time, Ivan Zoot, he used to be like the head of education when I was the lead educator at Andis. And I heard him say recently, like, barbers don't need to know how to cut hair. And I was
I
like, hmm?
learn that a lot now, still to this day.
I was
That's
like, what?
yeah,
And me, I'm like, see, that's where we get it fucked up.
yeah.
Because you damn well better know how to cut hair. See, the one thing you got to realize is that I was the same way as you were. I went and got another
I was,
job
You know what's funny? I was told as long as you could do the simple basic and make sure that just the areas are just clean enough that you don't have to be a great barber. As long as you know how to like talk the lingo and make the person feel comfortable enough
Okay.
to let them. That's all you need to do.
Okay.
And I,
And I say this
yeah,
to you, and I say this to you with love.
yeah,
That's bullshit. Right.
right.
Because and the reason I say that is this.
Yeah.
The only reason I say that is this. Trust and believe me, I'm coming from a great place. If we continue to believe things like that, we will never accelerate our industry standards. Our industry standards will never become what they need to become so that we could be taken serious as an industry. See, as long as we cut the hair and we don't mess it up too bad, they might come back.
Right.
Like, God damn, bro. No, that's not it, bro. Like
Yeah.
when we have people, and Ivan's a really smart guy, so I know he probably has a different twist to the term, and I'm gonna call his ass and we're gonna talk about it, or maybe I'll just do a live with him and discuss it live. But my thing is, Ivan, people listen to you, brother. Like you say, barbers don't need to know how to cut hair. They just need to learn how to sell a service.
Yeah.
And if they're selling their personality and they're selling a good experience,
Yeah.
I thought the haircut was the experience.
Correct.
I thought the end result of you being able to comb your hair through after you get a haircut and it not move and it be perfect brings you back to the chair, because no one's speaking about retention percentage, which is the number one element of barber success. Retention percentage. Then you say to yourself, oh shit, how do I do this? How do I get them to come back? You got to give them first and foremost a better service than the next guy, which means that part of that service is your actual tactical skills and techniques that you use to do a haircut. Why do we so conveniently stop talking about that? Because no one really understands how to train, teach, or educate on the level that will do that.
Yeah.
So for that reason, it's easy to take a clipper, turn it upside down, and my boy John is doing that now, and showing people how to use the trimmer in a reverse fashion. I think that is
I've seen that.
what I would call, huh? Yeah, I think that's what I would call like I almost want to say it's like hocus pocus, right? Um, and I say hocus pocus in a way because it's more like something that you kind of see working, but you're not really sure if it's working. And if you're a barber of accolade, then you understand that that can be done more efficiently with something different. But I'm not knocking John for what John does. What I'm doing is speaking honestly about the fact that I take education seriously. One thing you're going to realize right now, have I ever talked about a enhancement? Have I talked about uh shit. I haven't really talked about like units and stuff like that, but I haven't talked about color. I haven't talked about any of those things because that's not my lane no more. I have one lane, and I will murder anybody
Yeah.
who wants to talk hair cutting education. They don't put in enough time to talk to me about it, and it's unfortunate for them because I put in all kinds of time every day. I'm studying YouTube videos. I'm looking at what they're doing. I'm listening to what they're saying. I am overwhelmed, and I am meticulously educated, and I'm a professional learner. See? So when these people come at me and they're like, yo, you was talking a lot of shit on Talk Your Shit. Yeah, because that's what it's called, Talk Your Shit.
Right.
But now if you want to chin check me, my G, we could do that too, because I'm from the concrete. You know what I mean? Ain't no grass growing under my feet. You feel me? So at the end of the day, remember who you talking to. You're talking to somebody who is infatuated. They're asphyxiated. I am a hair cutting educational goon.
Yeah.
Nobody puts in the work I put in on this. Not even Milady. Not Pivot Point. Not Vidal Sassoon. Not Paul Mitchell. I mean, nobody. Nobody.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Speaking on like those platforms, those institutes like Paul Mitchell, then you have like super cuts, then you have sports cuts and stuff, and we spoke about like the foundation of how they make sure their horse is moving. As far as like making sure that you spoke on like making sure that the chairs are being full, the operation is running well. Uh, speaking on consignment and like the 40/30 concept and all that stuff like that. Do you feel like in today's era and way the direction of our industry is moving? Do you feel like more of that formula should be more sustainable? Like that's
Let me
move.
that's a good question. Let me say this to you
Okay.
first. The reason why supercuts, sports clips, and places like that exist is because a person would rather get a fast haircut and go than wait a long time for the same haircut and be in an environment that they're not comfortable in. So what that means is we're not doing our jobs as business owners.
Mm-hmm.
When corporate can come in and put something in place that says we're going to cut your hair fast, because I did a clinic for sports clips, and they have a video that they show people that work for them. They have to learn those haircuts, and they have to learn them in the same amount of time, which means that whatever their technical aspect or technical grade is that they have as a barber or hair cutter, because they're female and they're stylists and barbers, they then have to get on board, do the haircut, get the person out, because the time frame is the most important thing, not the efficiency of the haircut. So you have to realize that there's a different agenda.
Yeah.
You see? So when I went in and looked at it and I sat down with their educational director, they're like, wow. I said to them, first and foremost, you're using too many strokes. They said, wait, what? I said, wait a minute, hold on, I'm sorry. You don't even understand your stroke ratio?
Yeah.
Whoa. Hold on. See, this is why I tell you, brother, like, I'm not here to play games with people. I'm just here to help everybody get really, really, really happy and profound when they and proud when they say, I'm a barber or I'm a stylist. Because right now, we can't do that, brother. We can't stand on that name like that. That's why everybody got a job. Everybody got another job, basically, bro. And the ones who are making it, they may act as if they're teaching other people how to make it. But one thing that you have to realize is that it don't start nowhere but the education, bro. It starts and ends with the education. You could tell me what I can do all day long, but it starts and it ends with the education. If I educated you for 2
Well,
weeks,
let me ask you this real quick, and then you could jump back to it
go, sure.
because I don't want to the education part. So someone, I think I forgot her name, but she has a platform. It's called Barber Society, and she was speaking on within, I guess, her location, or it may not be her location. I think she's from New York, but she was speaking on Georgia, that are now allowing, I guess, the state board or whatever, or the government, like the Congress or whatever in that area is speaking on, like allowing, these shops that we're speaking on to just have people that don't have the education, that didn't go to a school to get certified, that they can work in the supercuts or these shops and just start cutting hair as a regular job.
Can I say something directly to that?
Okay.
When we look at what you just said and the linguistics of what you just spoke to, what you said is that the government is allowing for our actual quality of our end result to be worsened.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem.
Correct.
That's the problem. I could sit here all day long and tell you how, oh, education, 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 but I have the education.
Mm-hmm.
See, it will make a huge difference. There's no doubt about it. And then they'll say, oh, they're trying to deregulate and cut hours back so barbers don't have to take that much more time in school. Of course they need more time. They're not learning anything now. You see, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's back down to the education. So when I look at like how I used to talk to my man Nori from major league barbers, and I tell him, yo, Nori, man, I got to put my head in the dirt, man. I'm sorry, man. I can't do no shows, bro. Like, I love that dude, right? I would love to. I try to support him as much as I can, but guess what? It was Nori and his shows, or the hair industry and education.
Yeah.
I had my head down for the last 3.5 years, bro. I don't post. I keep my head down and get. This stuff is so difficult because not only am I a learner, but I also understand that I'm my worst advocate. I will get at myself. And I'm gonna tell you something, it's not easy because if I turn around and told you that you could actually learn what you could learn in 3 months at a school, I could teach you in a week.
Right. That's crazy.
But it's true.
Yeah.
See, it's only crazy because it has not been recorded. It has not been advertised. It has not been exposed. See? What do you think is gonna happen when I do that? When I do show it? That means they're coming for me. See? And either they're gonna take it from me or they're gonna sit down and make a deal. It's one or the other. That's all it is. See? But the thing is
So
that
let me be the devil's advocate. So I'll be seeing this stuff on social media, and I know everything on it's like watching TV sometimes. Either it can, put you in one direction or it can send you in another direction.
sure, sure,
So
sure.
we have this barber that speaks on, he cuts maybe 30 to 40 heads. Every person that he puts in his chair, he cuts them within 10 to 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But he's knocking out almost. I think he said he knocks out like 57 haircuts from
Mm-hmm.
9 to 6, but
Sure.
back to back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And you have people saying like, okay, how is that true? How is that possible? How can you be doing this? You got to clean up your hair. You got to clean your tools. Like certain hair shapes or person's head or hair texture. How are you knocking out all these professional cuts and you getting this type of clientele every day? And
Okay.
then for you
They
to say, I promise you, if you went to school and 3 to 4 months you've been in school, all the stuff that you learned will never match up to me teaching you what I could teach you in a week.
right. I'll say this first to the gentleman who's doing a lot of haircuts.
Okay.
You said something that was distinct, and that was professional cuts. There's a difference between acceptable work and professional cuts.
Right.
Because one thing that we have to realize is that people will pay for what they want. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I'm charging someone $150 for a haircut and they pay me, that's because that's an acceptable value to them.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else may come in and say, I'm not paying you $150, Jay. I love your haircuts, but bro, I ain't got it. Well, then
Right.
you can't get the cut, right? See, but at the end of the day, the brother that's doing all the cuts, cut. Yeah, you got to do this. Yeah, you got to do this. Yeah, you got to do that. We always do that. We always talk about what he has to do, but we never talk about what we know how to do. See? So what he's learned to do is develop a checklist of a system that he uses to get through cuts. I worked with a Dominican dude, don't even speak English. He does the same exact thing. Name was Bloody. My man does not speak English, but he cuts hair so fast and he tells people 10 minutes, 10 minutes. And that's it.
Yeah.
How long, Bloody? Oh, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. And he be just,
Going.
but watch this. He does it with a certain hair texture. See? Certain hair textures you can speed. Other hair textures you cannot speed. Bloody does not want a haircut client who's particular. So
Right.
now he knows to keep that client over there. So if you get in his chair and you start asking for other stuff, oh, he ain't gonna cut you again. He knows what he wants and he knows what he needs. See,
Like,
that's the whole difference with everything that's going on. See, we're not speaking to that. We're not speaking to the element of acceptance. See, we're forgetting to even talk about acceptance. As a barber, if I laced you here and I laced your mustache and did your beard so dope and your hairline was so dope, but my fade was horrible, you'd still come back to me. You know why? Because you'd go home and your wife would be like, man, your haircut looks nice. She doesn't mean your haircut looks nice. She means that your line is absolutely so on point that she could not help but make comment. And that would empower you to say, oh, I need to go back to him for a haircut. It wasn't that the haircut was good. You liked the compliment. You like the compliment, brother. It's not about, and it's not to say that people are inefficient with what they're doing. What they're doing is acceptable by the clients who are paying. You got to understand that. That's why, like, when Ivan made that comment, I was like, bro, I almost like text him right away, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna text him yet. I really want to understand the backstory to that, because to me, it's like that will hurt a lot of people's understanding of the role of a barber. You don't have to know how to cut hair to be a successful barber. What is that saying about our industry? If you don't know how to cut hair, then what are we going to school for? Now, the legalization of haircutting without a license in Georgia becomes relevant.
Right.
But then we want to be held accountable and be looked at as a strong profession. But yet we don't have a strong standard to stand on. See, foundation is the key again. It's again. Now watch this. I'm gonna say this. ClockPoint is the Ivy League of haircutting education. By far. Watch this. I say that because we then go around and we say we don't need education, we do need education. And then we say, I want to go to what's my man's joint? Ooh, what's my man's joint? Ah, dang it, in Vegas. My man in Vegas. He has a dope barbering school now. I forgot the name of it. That's all right. So
Nah, I can't think of his name.
Oh no. That's him right there, Mr. Little. So he has a dope barbering school. So what I'm saying is this. Mr. Littles may charge, and this is all hypothetical. Mr. Littles may charge $10,000 to go to his barbering school. Yeah. Paul Mitchell may charge $30,000 to go to theirs, right? Pivot Point may charge $30,000, right? Yeah. Now, what happens when ClockPoint says you got to pay $50,000 to go there? They say, "Oh man, you crazy." Right. They say you crazy, and I'm bringing this up for a reason. Watch this. The standard of what we know, what we learn, and how we use it becomes the epitome of the grade of your education. If I'm the Ivy League of haircutting education, that must mean that the people that go through any learning processes that I give them are heads and shoulders above everyone else who went everywhere else. Correct. And can I say that? Absolutely. Absolutely. Correct. Absolutely. Hands down. Because the diversity is not, see, we use the word diversity, right? But we shouldn't. Because we should understand that everything that we do has a technical adjustment to it to apply to a particular type of hair. Correct. That's it. And we should all be thinking from a end result standpoint, right? So when we break down a haircut, as I said before, if you're really, really, really structurally involved with understanding haircutting, you'll know where that fade line is, you'll know where that top line is, and you'll know where that blend area is. Now, within those three frames, now, do you remember another power of three that I told you earlier? Mm-hmm. Which was the haircutting, when I told you about the long layer, right? There were three elements, the power of three, brother. There is no way that you can go beyond the power of three because it works. When you can structure your learning in the power of three, it is so powerful that it's hard to forget. It's hard to forget. So when you sit back and you start looking at those things, yes. So now if I look at a haircut and let's say somebody did a great haircut. Jay Majors did a dope ass haircut. And I just seen the end result of it. I didn't even see him do it. I'm gonna go back to something now. Now I'm gonna smack you with something else. So Jay Majors did this dope haircut, and I seen the picture, and I was like, "Wow, beautiful fade. I love it. Oh my god. Oh, I see. Oh, you slick. You did something different right there. Da da da. Yeah, Jay. Oh man, you saw that? Yeah. How many strokes did it take you? Say what? See, people aren't even trying to understand the element of a stroke ratio when it comes to haircutting. Yeah. You got to understand something. The more you touch on the head with a clipper or with shears, the more you're susceptible to a mistake or error. Yeah. If you knew what you were doing, then your stroke count would drop, which would then make you more efficient. See, All right, I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna say this.
No back up.
If if Jay, and Jay's my example, if Jay actually did a haircut and it took him 1,500 strokes, right? I would do the same haircut in 500. Not because I'm better. Mm-mm. I classify my haircutting result to the stroke in which I need it. Period. I classify my haircutting result to the stroke in which I need it. So therefore, if I use an angle contoured stroke, that means that it's not going to leave a line of demarcation. If I use a C stroke, it is going to leave a line of demarcation. I can then do a C stroke with a slowed down or reduced release, which means to slow down your release at the end. And what that would do is it would even lighten up the line of demarcation even more. See, there's so many different things from a technical aspect that people just look over. A lot of people right now, if they had the opportunity to come in here right now and just scream at me, you know what they would say? We are, man, we do that. I'll be doing that. Yeah, I'll be doing that. I'll be doing that. And they'll say that.
Right.
So then I'll say to them, but if you do that and you know that,
Right.
then why are you still using C strokes to fade when it leaves a line of demarcation?
Yeah.
And then they corner pick now. They call it corner picking. Corner picking. What are you picking, my guy? See, this is the semantics with the words again that I'm telling you about, the linguistics. You're corner cutting, my friend. You're corner cutting, my friend. And there is corner cutting, and then there's angle cutting. There's so many things, and they leave different types of results. Corner cutting is going to leave a textured result as to where an actual C stroke or a straight stroke is going to do what? It's going to leave a very even feel. That's why, like, most of the time now you see people showing fades, they show them with their fade line, and I'm not going to go to their terminology. I'm going to use my own. Their fade line, their top line, and then right in between that, they do another one, and then in between that, they get out the line, and then they go up, and they go in between that, and they get it out, and then it looks like a really good fade. And I'm going to tell you something, that works on some hair types. The element of it is that I used to fade from the bottom up until I learned how to master fading from the top down. Then it was like, well, there's nothing wrong with fading from the bottom up. But if you want to become absolutely universal in your stance, you want to learn to fade from the top down because your eye is better. It becomes more sharp. See, when you have a guideline, then you put another guideline, then you put another guideline in between, and then you try to erase them. You're misusing the element of the tool itself, because that's how come a low fade becomes a high fade, because they keep moving up the line of demarcation. There's no control of it. But when you set in a top line,
my
top line is there.
because I was doing like bottom up,
Yeah.
and then I was like, "What? I keep going up," but then like, man, start from the top.
You have to watch this.
Fade
You
down.
have to learn. You have to learn your fade grid.
Yeah.
See, there's a thing called a fade grid. Okay.
Yeah.
And let me see. Hair falls down. Hair doesn't fall up. This dude always coming with the jokes, man. My man, though. I really. Oh man. See, this is why I kind of like doing this stuff, man. I don't do this stuff. Like, everybody knows I'm rarely on, but I really appreciate you letting me do this. But when it comes down to why we're doing the things we do, we just need to share the truth of the matter. See, because the truth is going to make us all great. It really is. And that's the thing. People will look at me and be like, that nigga's talking so much shit, or he think he all that. No, I don't, my brother. Honestly, I really don't. But one thing that I do know is that I know my shit.
Yeah.
And that's because I put in a lot. I put in way more time than you might have to get the 10 top, 20 top educators in barbering and haircutting, put them all together, and they still won't have the same type of examinatory, and I say examinatory, hours that I have, because I love doing that shit. See, that's the difference. I know, I see the matrix, brother. They don't see the matrix. I'm in the matrix, bro. I see it.
Correct.
Everything. It's I'm gonna tell you this. When you go on the website and create a little account, I am then going to show you the matrix. You know how long it takes to see the matrix?
For you teaching me?
No, no, no. From anybody.
Oh,
Anybody, brother. Let me explain something to you. When you went to hair school, you had to learn what they were talking about, right?
correct.
Okay. When you learn clock point is based around the numeric alignment of the clock. You don't have to learn anything. You already know that. You're a master at your craft and language learning already.
Okay. Okay.
You're already 3,000 miles ahead of the game, bro. This is why when I speak to shop owners and I speak to school owners, they're like, and I heard the conversation with the guy the other day, and I was just like, wow, you know, I kind of differ, I have a different opinion when it comes to like how the presentation of becoming a millionaire, and I think it was 50,000. Oh no, it was 20,000 and 50 people and $1 million.
Yeah.
So to me, that's like, semantics with numbers.
Yeah.
Because now the element of it is that if that were the case, everyone would have a school and everyone would be a millionaire.
Correct.
But the element of it is that we have people struggling with schools. And those are the people I reach out to. Those are the people that I see and I DM them. And I'm like, hey, I'd like to, award you some time.
Mention that because I had someone on my channel not too long ago, and he's called the Millionaire Barber, and
Yeah.
he specifies like instead of trying to own a shop, you should invest into opening the school. So from the information
Again,
sharing to the information that I had with him, it was just like you can be more profitable, you can make more money, just open up a school. But I wanted to know more about the educational basic. Like, yeah, I could find it in my area and open
it
up.
starts,
Yeah,
my brother, it starts and ends with the
correct.
education. It really does. Like, okay, I can open up a school and do really well until that school has to show and prove. Then I'm done.
Correct. Right.
Then I'm done. So it don't matter. I could be on top
Yeah.
for a mile
Correct.
and then a while.
Yeah.
But that mile, after that, what happens when ClockPoint opens up a school across the street? And now your cutting floor is no longer doing the numbers it was doing. Because now everybody's coming over here.
Mhm.
Because now these barbers, stylists, or whoever it is that's cutting hair over here have a stronger terminology base. They're sharing it with the clients that are coming in, and they're letting the clients know that they have a superior education. I said Ivy League of haircutting instruction, my brother. I meant that. What? Don't people from Harvard get paid more than everybody else when they come out of school?
Right.
Like, right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, am I saying I'm Harvard? No, I said I'm the Ivy League of this haircutting education. So that means that if indeed someone wanted to challenge that statement, just DM me. I'll be more than happy to help you. As I said, help you. Because that's what it's going to do. It's going to help you. It's going to help you see things in such a different way. Like I said, the matrix will be available to you. It's going to blow your mind. You're never going to see nothing like that again. You're never going to look at it. And then you're going to say to yourself, how do we do this though? I already have my ladies' haircutting curriculum. It's not a problem. My curriculum can be added on. It's an add-on to a school now. See, so again, I did the research. See, people don't understand it takes time to do things the right way so that you cannot be stopped later. So now I don't want to have a curriculum that I have to get approved in every state like Milady, every country like Milady, because they have that monopoly sold up. Now here comes Pivot Point to the number 2. So Pivot Point comes in now and they're trying to bring a different element. They're trying to look the part and be the appealing visual aid to the barbers. You see? Because now we're going to show you that we're cool with all the influencers and the social media people. And hey, guess what? We got it going on too because we know what you guys want. We took the time to hear you guys, but you ain't changed nothing.
Right.
See? So at the end of the day, you made my house look like the club, but now I can't sleep there.
Right.
You see? And it's like, yo, what are we really doing to people? We have to understand what we're doing to people when we do this, brother. You have to understand. You can't just say you the Ivy League of haircutting education. That's insulting, brother. That's insulting if I did not have that together. What I say that for is so that somebody, that DL Master Barber will say to me, yo, brother, please explain to me how you are the Ivy League of haircutting. And then I'll explain it to him. And he'll be like, damn, bro, that's deep. See, then and only then will people be able to say to themselves, and I'm talking about other people, the naysayers, the non-believers, right? Even non-believers called ClockPoint so matter of fact they had no questions. Do you know what that means? When academia says this is so matter of fact, I have no questions. If I ask the question, it would show my ignorance. That's what a lady from the National Barbering Board of Association of America said. Jay, if I was to ask you a question, I would sound ignorant. I would sound like like what you just told me was not even. It's almost so in my face I can't not see it anymore. It's the matrix, brother. It's not. It's not a gimmick to say matrix, bro. If you look up the actual definition in terms of matrix, it is a deep structure, brother. A deep structure. You think it's just a clock? Oh, no, it's not. It has everything to do with key points, angles, end points, start points, everything. Everything. And then when you get into it, you'll understand this thing is applicable everywhere. How do I say everywhere? Remember that guy we were talking about that really needed to know how he can make some more money? Now?
He can't.
Remember him?
Mm-hmm.
He can't. Mm-hmm. How can he? Cross-reference. The number one thing that you do in a barbershop is make sure that your barbershop has room for a woman. When you have a woman come in, sit in your seat, watch what I'm saying to you. When a woman can come in and sit in your seat and you can round brush, blow dry her hair, or you can cut her hair, you have just quadrupled. I said it, everybody, quadrupled your numbers, and you don't even know it. How does that happen? I'm gonna tell you how it happens. I'm gonna tell you how it happens. Don't even worry about it. I'm gonna tell you how it happens. Quadruple the numbers. Jay, you're talking shit. It's barber talk shit, right? But watch this. There's 8-to-1 females to males. Mm. So that would mean that if I have a clientele base of 100 clients and I don't have any like female women, I'm not, and what I mean by female women is not a woman who is getting a barber haircut, but a woman who's getting an actual stylist haircut, okay? Scissor cut. Okay, scissor cut, and she's wearing it long or whatever it is, right? She can even come in with her wig on, and I'm gonna cut the wig. You understand me? So now I got clients, 8-to-1. Watch this. Now, the woman that I just did, she gonna tell a homegirl. Now I got a homegirl. The woman that I just did got a husband, so now her husband's coming. The woman that I just did got a daughter. The woman that I just did got a son. The woman that I just did got a nephew, a niece, an auntie, and she got a mama too. Right. Did I say quadruple? Did I say quadruple? See, people got to understand, if you know the actual fundamental basics, and I mean basics, I don't mean holding the hair and cutting it all even. That's not what I said. The basics of haircutting instruction. You could do any haircut you want on any one you want. Once you open your eyes and see that matrix, nothing is the same anymore. And DL, you got to go on to the website. It's not all the way finished, so I apologize for anything that doesn't look like the way someone may think it should look. I apologize for that. I'm still working on it, and I'm doing it myself because that's, again, something that I want to install and I want to be able to help people with later. See, this is the reason why I become autodidactic. You see? Because you need to be that. You know what I mean? I remember saying that because that word in itself propelled me. I was so scared that I would stand up in front of academia and they would break me down because I didn't go to barber school. I don't have a master's in haircutting, right? Bullshit. Yes, I do. So when they asked me, where did you go to hair school? I said, 205 Westminster Place, Lodi, New Jersey. They said, wow, what is that? I said, my house. And I studied there like you would not believe. So much so that I actually have an advanced haircutting curriculum now that is so accurate that I can go anywhere in the world and teach it. And I'm going to walk away and they're going to know what I told them. They're going to know how to instruct. They're going to know how to take those instructions. They're going to know how to decipher. They're going to know how to duplicate and replicate any haircut that they see done. Because see, the one thing that you told me before too, you said, Jay, it's TV. So, we watch, videos of haircuts, this, that, and the third. That's a whole nother conversation, brother. Didn't I tell you my job was to really change perspective?
Yeah.
When you look at a video, you're not looking at the haircut, brother. You're watching what's being done. You cannot learn from that perspective. That's why when you go to execute anything, you need the cutter's view. You don't have the cutter's view, brother, it's not going to look the same when you go to do it because the whole perspective changes. The line of sight is different. Everything is different. Brother, I'm telling you, I studied this stuff, bro. I've studied this stuff, bro. While everybody is posting and making money and doing what they're doing and having a good time in the barbering industry, bro, I'm understanding that my competition is Milady and Pivot Point. So when I go down and I get in touch or they reach out, they're gonna know that I'm ready for them because that's what I'm preparing for.
Yeah.
I'm not preparing to be in a word fight with you. I'll give you the gems. I'll give you everything you need. I will tell you how to blow your barber school up. I will tell you how to get clients in your barber school. I will tell you that the number one thing you need to understand, if you understand anything about a barbering school, is that if you do not have people that are learning, you ain't gonna have no barbering school. You ain't gonna have no barbering school. So, I mean, it's what are you teaching? Again, what are you teaching? We got platform artists. I wanted to be a platform artist so bad, bro. That when I was a platform artist for Andis, I crushed it, right? I mean, we sold out. Matt K, Mr. Andis was like, yo, man, I need you to do what you did last time. I need you to do it here. And I'm here to watch you do it. I said, all right, bet, no problem. I'm all cocky, young. I was like, boom, boom, boom. I'm doing it, killing it, right? Sold out again. He was like, wow, this guy's great. I'm great for your company, bro.
Yeah.
I'm great for your company. So when I realized that I was only as good as what I was doing, I had to stop doing that, bro. Then I did shows for ClockPoint. Then I realized, hold on, Jay.
But let me, sorry.
I'm in the wrong lane. Go ahead.
Do you feel like that was a great stepping stone, though? Like
amazing stepping stone.
Huh?
Amazing. Because I wanted to teach.
So once you got it, like it's like you studying your habit. So you like you in there, you understand the dialogue, you understand the layers.
Yes.
Now it's go, okay, I can do this on my own now.
Right.
I know.
But see,
the move
but no. It's never I can do it on my own because that's my selfish standpoint perspective that I had when I was younger.
Okay.
Now I have a self perspective for everyone.
Okay.
So I have the accountability of completing my curriculum. I have the accountability now of being able to say, hey, this is going to help everybody. I can help when you can sit back, look at your industry and say, yo, I'm going to reach out to this particular barbering school. I'm going to DM them and I'm going to help them. Correct. They're going to say to you, what are you doing this for? I say to them, you know what? I'm just doing it because, I feel like I have an advanced haircutting curriculum. I would love to use some test subjects and some test information. That's all. Sometimes they'll say, oh, no, we're not interested. Then I'll say, okay, before you say no, now I'm going to tell you the real truth. The real truth of the matter is that this haircutting curriculum is industry changing, period. If it's not, I will come and teach in your school for a year for free, period. If I met someone who paid more attention to the things that they do when they're haircutting more than me, that's going to be my protege. That's going to be the person who takes ClockPoint to a whole nother planet. And I can't wait to meet that person. I cannot wait. People don't pay attention to what they're doing because they don't understand why they're doing it. Remember, we as barbers, I remember when I was cutting, man, I used to cut and then it would like kind of form itself. So after a certain time, I would start seeing the haircut. I'd be like, all right, bet I'm cool. Woo. I didn't know if I was going to get that one. And it was always a shot. It was always a shot in the air. But now it is so precise that when you look at something in someone, it's like, oh, 000. Ooh, quadruple zero on the
Right.
bottom. Ooh, blended out the bottom with the ice fade or machine. Uh-huh. I see him. Okay, okay. But see, what they don't understand is that fade grid. You don't understand the fade grid, you will not understand fading. It's that simple, brother. And I tell you, every single time I walk away, people like, how did he do that? Like, is it really just that easy? They just don't understand. Mastery is not about being, or should I say, taking a year and a half or 2 years to learn it. It's about you getting a mannequin head, you putting it in your house and putting it
Right, your pocket.
and saying to yourself, "Oh wow, I wanna do this. I wanna do this. Like, oh man, I wanna do this. This is what I wanna do." Now, I did this with clippers and a shear, right? But I was just playing around. I was just playing around. And the reason why I wanted to play around is because I played around throughout the whole haircut. And then I realized that I segmented the haircut and I did different haircuts in different segments of the head. So now I can duplicate it. A whole gamut. I could duplicate it because I know what was done in those segments. See, we don't even visually understand the organization of the anatomy to understand how to cut hair with instruction. It's that simple. And I'm telling you these things because they're stacking up now. Now they're starting to stack up. And what you're going to find out is that they stack up on a foundation of structure, of structure. So now when you go back to your shop and you cut hair today, you're going to look at it and you're going to be like, oh, shoot, I see what he was talking about now. Wow. If I would have
So,
put that line in first,
question,
then I would have been good.
getting the terminology correct as far as that head that you just brought up. Would I consider that a graduation layer haircut? Like you moving the hair from the front face and moving it backwards in like a vertical layer?
Sure,
Like,
you could say that. You could say that. You could say that, but it's not that.
okay.
Here we go again. I'm sorry. Here we go again.
Hey,
You're you're mentioning things from the school,
yeah.
right? That really they really deter me because I love that they say vertical, layers, and they pull the hair from the front to the back over extension,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But the element of the instruction is not that. The element of the instruction breaks down to three basic identifiers: the hair extension angle, the hold angle, and the cut angle. That's it. That's
Say
it.
that one more time again. I mean.
Okay, I'm gonna give you this away. I'm gonna give this away again.
No,
It's
pause.
it's
So,
it's okay. It's
okay.
okay. It's called the cut code. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, it's the cut code. Okay.
Okay.
Now that means that, and you smile, but remembering that I worked on my verbiage for over 30 years. I didn't just make this up yesterday. So the things that I say: fade grid, cut code, hair extension angle, hold or finger angle. Like these are things that were worked on so that the linguistics of it being translated to other languages would not be an issue, and they wouldn't even have to hear me say a word. You should be able to learn from your visual understanding of the template of the clock. But it's called the cut code, and that is the hair extension angle, the finger or hold angle, and then the blade angle or cut angle. Okay? Those three
So
elements
that'd be
identify every single thing. I'm sorry?
the point you was doing. That'd be the notching, right?
Yes, that was a notching, but it could be matched as well.
Okay.
It could be matched, okay? Or it could be depth. So now we can actually do what we call reverse cutting, right? So when you go in, your actual shear is open and it closes as you leave. Okay. Now everybody, oh, this is such an advanced technique, blah blah blah. That's bullshit. It's not an advanced technique. All you have to do is identify what the hell they're doing, and guess